Yes, guys, welcome back to another video, and it's paper talk time. The transfer market is open, and we are going wild with transfer speculation. So I thought a new segment on the channel, we can go through all the paper talk and have a look, have a quick chat about it. First coming here from The Guardian, Man United have ended their interest in signing England striker Harry Kane from Tottenham this summer. Apparently United have got some sort of financial problems and they can't afford him and like some other players or some random shit like that. It's pretty mad. This is pretty good for City, I think, because I've said that if United get Harry Kane, they will be challenging for the title next season, just due to the fact that Harry Kane is so good, guys. So for me, this is a mad one. United not going in for Harry Kane. Also, what does that mean for Harry Kane? Is he going to go Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or is he going to stay at Spurs? Wild. Newcastle are close to agreeing a £50 million deal with Inter Milan for 26-year-old Italian midfielder Nicolo Barella. Now, this is a madness. This is some news that I've seen on Twitter actually earlier in the day. I don't know how true this is. £50 million for Barella seems quite cheap to me, guys. I don't know about you. Obviously, he played in the Champions League final. I don't think he particularly had a great game, but he is obviously a top player. A lot of people who watch the streams and stuff say he's a very good player, and I could see a little bit of talent in that Champions League final. £50 million, though, it just seems a little bit on the low side to me, based on his age, based on experience, and everything like that. So, be a great signing for Newcastle if they can get him. That's from the Telegraph. Arsenal are strong contenders to sign 24-year-old Germany striker Kai Havertz from Chelsea, who won £70 million. There's a lot wrong with that. First of all, is he a striker? Is he 24? He seems like he's been around for ages. Is he £70 million? Also not sure about this one. I think this is a very strange deal for Arsenal. I'm not 100% sure why they're spending 70 million or 50 or whatever Arsenal want to buy on basically a flop. Makes no sense. And if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be seriously concerned about this. Now, look, it's a gamble. He might come into Arsenal and he might do really well. But do they really want to be taking £50 million gambles? They did that with Pepe. Didn't quite work out. Not sure why they're doing that. Juventus want at least €80 million for 23-year-old Serbia striker Dusan Vlahovic. But Chelsea have offered one of 5 players in a swap deal. Now, of course, Chelsea, they've got transfers that they're going to want to make under Pochettino. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Vlahovic is going to make a move to Chelsea. I also don't think that, will they get £70 million for Vlahovic? I know he's a pretty good striker in that, but will they get £70 million? I'm not 100% sure. Chelsea, no surprise there, want to offer a player in lieu of all the transfer fee. The Chelsea players offered as part of a deal with Juventus included 21-year-old defender Kalidou Koulibaly, who is also wanted by Inter Milan. Of course, Koulibaly could have been a Manchester City player, couldn't he, if we signed him instead of Ruben Diaz. He's not had a great year at Chelsea. I was quite surprised at that one, actually. I thought that Koulibaly was going to do really well at Chelsea. It didn't work out. I accept the L on that one. Manchester City will resist loan offers for 20-year-old English midfielder James McAtee. Spoke a little bit about this on City Extra. It will be interesting to see if he does stay with the first team or not. James McAtee has a huge future. If he doesn't stay at City this season, it will be to a Premier League club. And then next year could be his breakthrough year. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Still only 20 years old. Had a fantastic year at Sheffield United. Let's see what happens. Chelsea are prepared to match any bid Arsenal make for Brighton's Ecuador midfielder Moises Caicedo, while Bayern Munich are also considering a move. Bayern Munich probably won't sign him. They don't have the cash. And yeah, it'll probably be a straight shootout between Arsenal and Chelsea. But Arsenal could do with him. I think that'll be a great signing for Arsenal. Brentford's Spanish goalkeeper David Raya has agreed personal terms with Tottenham. This is another interesting development. Hugo Lloris and David De Gea, what's going on with these guys? But it does seem like Tottenham are making a move for David Raya. I think Lloris's time is over at Tottenham Hotspur. To be honest, I think it was over a couple of years ago, truth be told. And this is a good signing for Spurs. I think this is a good signing. And it's not often you say that when you're talking about Spurs. Transfer activity. Tottenham reluctant to meet Brentford's asking price of £40 million. For Raya could open the door for Manchester United, as we just spoke about. But I think they're going to stick with David De Gea, which I think, guys, is a terrible, terrible move. I think they need to move on from David De Gea. And is Ten Hag making a mistake in keeping David De Gea as the #1? Tottenham are interested in Chelsea's 23-year-old England midfielder Conor Gallagher, who has also been linked with Newcastle. I think he's a very overrated player. Really, really do. Don't think he's good at all. Also, the transfer fees around 50 million quid. Who's made that up? That's an absolute joke and a disgrace. I wouldn't touch this guy. I really wouldn't, but what do I know? Nottingham Forest have rejected a club record £30 million bid for 22-year-old Wales forward Brennan Johnson from Brentford. A lot of people like Brennan Johnson. I think a few City fans actually say, should we go in for Brennan Johnson? And obviously Brentford had a great season. They'll be looking to kick on, spending £30 million on a promising forward player. That shows intent. Big up to Brentford. Burnley and Bournemouth are the leading contenders to sign Mali striker El Bilal Touré, 21 from Almeria this summer. Don't really know much about this guy, to be honest with you guys, but obviously, you know, 2T and Burnley, they need to strengthen their squad. They've just been promoted, and I think there's a lot of expectation on Burnley, so it'll be interesting to see what other transfer business they do. Newcastle have been in contact with Rennes French midfielder Désiré Doué, who turned 18 this month and has attracted attention from Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain. Sounds like one for the future. Doubt he's going to start anytime soon. Aston Villa have agreed terms with Seville director of football Monchi to become sporting director. Okay, yeah, actually I've heard quite a lot about this guy. I'm pretty sure, has he had a job in England before? Maybe you can let me know in the comments section. I recognise his name from somewhere. I'm pretty sure that he has had a job in the Premier League before. Aston Villa, they've got a lot of money, haven't they? They were owned by a really rich guy. And I think there's a lot of expectation. Emery did a fantastic job, and it will be interesting to see just how he gets on this season. I think top 6, top 7 has to be the aim for Aston Villa. Birmingham City will receive more than £6 million as part of 19-year-old former midfielder Jude Bellingham's move to Real Madrid from Borussia Dortmund. Of course, that has now been confirmed. Real Madrid have signed Jude Bellingham, and Birmingham City are getting £6 million. I've also seen Jude's brother, has signed for Sunderland, so both of them on the move. England midfielder Emile Smith-Rowe is set to stay at Arsenal after being told he is part of their plans next season. I really, really like Emile Smith-Rowe. I think he's a top player. Had a really unlucky year, injuries, just couldn't get into the team. But he is a top player. What do Arsenal do with him? If they're going to keep him, they have to play him. They simply have to play him. Let us know what you think about the rumours. Let me know what you think about this. Do you want me to do this every day? I can do it every day. It's a pretty easy video. We can just chat through it. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on some stuff. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one.